Hello and Happy New Year and welcome to this first conference call of 2017. This is Wes Linden and I am honoured to host this call alongside my good friend, Senior Group Leader, Chris Williams. Welcome, Chris.
Thanks, Wes, and Happy New Year to everybody.
Chris, there is one massive topic on everyone's lips, and that is the new Quick Income Plan, also known as QUIP. Now, Chris, I was pretty pleased to pass along the duties of interviewing Andrew Lindsay to yourself for the New Year's message. So you had an extra couple of days to absorb the announcement. So tell us, what were your initial thoughts?
Well, first off, I was lost for words, which is unusual for me. So I was a bit speechless because it made such an impact on me when I heard it. And but often I've said on training that I get people to put their hands up. You know, if the company gave you, for example, not £20 per customer, but £250 per customer, how many customers would you get? And everybody's saying, you know, loads more. And I've always explained, well, that's what you get paid. That's how the residual income works over a 5-year period, for example. And what the company's done now is you get it up front. So I think, you know, for me, you know, huge impact, Wes, huge impact.
Now, I've been in the business, 20 years. And in terms of how this ranks for me in terms of announcement, that's a question that's come up quite a lot. I have to say that this is probably the biggest and the bravest and the most innovative announcement change that we've ever had. And I think there's no denying that this now makes us like the perfect network marketing business, because not only do we get the big money up front, we get a long-term residual. And I know all of us on here have got friends involved with other networking businesses, and often they'll sell an expensive luxury product where they'll get a big upfront bonus. But of course, with those expensive luxury products that aren't consumables, that aren't necessary, they don't always get the sale the second, third, fourth, fifth month. Whereas what we have now is an absolutely perfect proposal. You get a big upfront bonus, and then you get a long-term residual income. And as Andrew mentioned on the video you did with him, Chris, we've got this new highly competitive energy tariff, and our days as a highly competitive energy provider are very much here to stay, as he said. So it really is a perfect storm for the company. And I think they're kind of thrown in a killer punch with this QUIP scheme. And it's going to make a huge difference to people's lives, wouldn't you say, Chris?
Absolutely. So you can have your cake and eat it. It really is the perfect.
Yeah. Now we've got some people on the call with us here, and I'm going to zoom over to Kathy and Paul Duffield, who are over in Suffolk right now. They picked up their Mini on the 23rd of December, so that was a nice Christmas present for them.
Well done, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Kathy and Paul, thanks for joining us. Just tell us what QUIP means to you guys, as individuals, as a couple, and as a family.
Hi, Wes. Hi, Chris. Yeah, I mean, for us, what it means for us as a family, it's massive, really. We gather 3 to 4 Daffy Gold customers a month. That's our average, and with an income from that, we're looking at about £350 with our residual on top. But with the QUIP, that completely changes overnight. That would go up to about £870, £900, wow. Just for that simple change. And we will be getting to the 100+ club by March, which means there's going to be another jump. So I mean, that's looking up to, we could be with those same number of Daffy Golds looking at anything up to £1,200, which is just huge. It's life-changing for us personally. And that's if we continue to do 3 and 4. And like Chris was alluding to earlier, who's going to want to just stay at doing 3 and 4? I mean, it's going to encourage you to want to do more. And, we only have to get 1 more Daffy Gold customer a month. And literally, we'll be bringing back into the house the equivalent of what Kathy earns a month in her part-time job in the NHS, which, she's a professional, been working for 20 years. And it's just going to give us so many more choices because of that. It's just massive. It's completely life-changing. And it actually makes me a little bit emotional when I talk about it, because it means that much to us as a family. Huge.
Yeah. Well, that's really fantastic to hear, and thanks for sharing that, Kathy and Paul, and the difference it's going to make to you guys as a family, for not even doing anything more than what you were already doing. So that's a great endorsement of the QUIP scheme. Now, Chris, how will you be sharing this excitement with the team?
Well, I think what's really, really important is that we get on the phone. So I've been getting on the phone to the team. You can't share excitement and enthusiasm via a text or via a Facebook message or via an email. It's really, really important you get on the phone and really, help people understand what this really, really means. Unpick the what's going to happen when people actually go out and get their customers. And an example might be is that, I'm talking to people about how much extra a month would you now like to get, and then break those figures down and reverse it. So if somebody wants to get £400 extra a month, then we know that they're fairly new in the business. We know that they've got to go out and get 2 to 4 Daffy Gold customers every single month to do that. Now, to get those customers, we all live in the real world as well, don't we? Not everybody we phone up is going to want to see you. And when you go and see people, some people say something that isn't yes, may need to follow up, may need to go back. So we probably need to be getting, 5, 6 appointments to get those customers in the month and making maybe 10, 15 phone calls. So working back exactly what the activity needs to be to go out and generate that income. So the key is huge activity. The more activity people put in, the more they're going to get out of it. And we're talking, there's sort of pre-cops going on about QUIP, and lots of people are looking at what it means to them. But the reality, I see it as being really, really simple. You're just getting paid up front, so nothing's changing. You just follow the process that you taught on training, and you just get sign-up customers, and you've now got the choice to opt in and have your money up front. So that's the only change, really. But what that change will mean is, do more activity, you're going to get loads more money.
Yeah, it's very much a you do, you get now. People
Absolutely.
can really clearly see they can do this and they can get that.
Yeah.
This is a case of, well, if you do this, you might get this in residual over this period. This is a you do, you get, and then you have a nice big pot of customers that's building up that kicks in as a residual in 2, 3, 4, 5 years' time.
Yeah.
Which is just fantastic both ways. And Chris, you mentioned there that there are some events going on around the country. I would urge people right now to get on the extranet and check out the kickoff events. There are still some tickets left for all of the events around the UK, but there aren't many left. So certainly book yourselves on those. And Chris, there's also a few pre-COPs, pre-events, and also Andrew and Wayne are doing some Q&As around the country. Just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so around the country, if you have a look on the extranet and on the UW Facebook forum, that's where we post them over the Christmas New Year period. Andrew Lindsay, our CEO, is going to go around the country with Wayne Coupland and at various locations around the UK. And they're strategically, we've got them in the south, we've got them in the northwest, northeast, and in the Midlands. And you will get a chance to actually ask Andrew and Wayne a question. So you really will get to meet the CEO of the company. And it's not just all about QUIP, it's also to understand what an amazing future that we've got with this company and the vision that Andrew has. Because having had the opportunity to talk to Andrew in preparation for the interview I did with him, it's amazing. The company has got not a 5-year vision, not a 10-year vision, it's 20, 30-year vision here. And so you get an opportunity to find out all about that as well. And most of those events are free ticketed, but you need to register because capacity is limited. And then most leaders around the UK will be running, well, it's not a pre-COP, is it? It's a pre-op, where there is an opportunity to find out more about how you can make QUIP work for you. So, get yourself booked on there. I think that's really, really important.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm still saying pre-COP because pre-op sounds has a different place. But I would just stress that I can't believe I said that. You don't need to wait for these. I mean, if the Q&A with Andrew and Wayne is not about QUIP, you know, Andrew, tell us about QUIP. Okay, you get customers, you get paid more up front. That's the Q&A.
Yeah.
But it will be about some other stuff. You don't need to wait for these events to get started.
No, absolutely not. So, Wes, we were going to talk about the difference it makes on disposable income. I know we've got Tony on the call as well, haven't we? And you had some feedback on that, didn't you, Tony?
Yeah. Tony, welcome. You're from whereabouts? You're in the West Country. You're Bristol way, aren't you?
Oh.
You're a team leader. You're a mini owner. You're a 100+ club member. Just tell us though what QUIP has done for your life now.
Oh, just an immediate effect, Wes. Due to circumstances that life throws at you, just over the last few weeks, I had to jump in and start getting some work. And what I'm doing is shelf stacking at Waitrose at night time, which quite frankly, I didn't realise I was going to be doing, but I'm there doing it every night. 32 hours I did last week. And the brilliance of QUIP is that for 32 hours moving and shifting and falling into freezers, I get paid £249 take home. One double Daffy Gold customer pays me £250. One.
Amazing, isn't it? So £250 for one double gold versus 32 hours of night shift in the supermarket for £249. Now, we're not demeaning by laughing at it. It's just incredible, Tony.
It is. I didn't even realise that.
Absolutely mind-blowing. And, you know, the opportunities it gives me now is, you know, I can sleep at night, which is great because I need my beauty sleep, as you can see. And all I can say is, well done, UW. And, you know, there's a whole raft of people, from the people I'm working with now, and they're all added to the list. But, you know, I've been shifting a lot of jam. And the new phrase is jam, just about managing. And there's so many people just about managing in the UK. You know, they may have good jobs, assets, all this sort of thing, but their disposable income is rubbish. Yeah. And yet one double Daffy Gold customer a month, 2, 3, 4, can make a massive difference for them. So I'm telling everybody, I'm prospecting like mad, and I'm going to tell everybody they can earn some real money out of this business quickly.
Absolutely. And Wes, thank you, Tony. Wes, we talked about preparation for this because that's really, really important. I mean, what would your recommendation be? You've been in the business, as you say, 20 years now. How can people prepare to make the most of it? Yeah,
well, you know, once people know, like you said, Chris, that once they've been unpicked, how many customers they're going to want to get to achieve the money they want, how many appointments, therefore, they're probably going to need, they then need to start working out, well, how's that going to come? It's not just going to come by writing it down on your fridge or saying an affirmation in the mirror every morning. It is actually going to need people to work out a plan of attack around, okay, well, I'm going to need to do 1 wham a month, 2 whams a month, 3, whatever. I'm going to need to perhaps go to networking. I'm going to learn how to do referrals. I'm going to get better at talking to friends and family. I'm going to get better on the phone. All of those, some of those things are going to become necessary. I'm going to do neighbor letters. And if right now you're not producing those numbers that you need, and it's because you don't feel you have the skills, then the cool thing is we've got free trainings all over the UK, almost every day of the week, that can give you those skills, not just the getting started, but the ongoing trainings, the WHAM sessions, the customer gathering masterclasses, all manner of things that can really help you. And then push it beyond that. Get to Pizza Tuesday, hang around the people that are winning the prize for the most amount of customers, find out what they are doing, and go and stand behind them in their living room listening to them on the phone, or stand in a field listening to them on a Winner Mini. Whatever it is you need to do to get good at it, once you're good at it, not only can you earn the money you need to from QUIP, but you can help your team do the same, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
What about recruiting, Chris? This is a recruiting tool as well.
It is. You know, Tony mentioned it. What I see here now is, I don't know what anybody else's experience is, but very often when we're showing people how this business works and we're showing people how the money works, we've also sort of got to educate them first on what this residual income really, really means. I mean, what does the word residual mean? This royalty income thing. So very often, I don't think people get it. And because I think we live in a world where most people are looking for instant gratification. So they're not always prepared to wait those 5 years for their income to actually build up. Because what we've always said is this isn't a get rich quick scheme, it's a get wealthy over a period of time. But some people simply can't wait. And, you know, typically now in January, we've got people who have bought their Christmas presents, spent, you know, money on their credit cards. They're going to have fairly large credit card bills to pay off. As Tony said, you know, Theresa May has actually, you know, defined people as jams just about managing. So there's lots of people out there. So I really think it's opened up a brand new market for us. So anybody who's got a job, anybody who's got a mortgage, who wants a part-time income, as Tony's just pointed out, you know, for working 32 hours part-time to generate some extra income. Well, 32 hours isn't really part-time, is it? But you can do, well, it's going to be longer than hour to sign up a Daffy Gold customer. You know, you've got to drive there, drive back. But, you know, just one customer can give you such a massive income. And we can show people this now and how the money works. So I really, really think we're going to have more people wanting to join straight away because they're looking for money straight away. So massive recruiting tool. And for me, there's been this question, you know, do you offer the customer proposition first? Do you offer the business proposition first? Well, if we go out there and gather customers, we're naturally going to get more distributors. So if people feel comfortable about doing it that way, do it that way, and not one size fits all. And the people who want to offer the business first, they've now got a very, very powerful income tool where they can say immediately we can help you earn. And it can be, for a new starter, they could, if they wanted to, you know, 4, 5, 6, even £1,000 in their first month, as long as they put the effort in and prepared to do the work. So, you know, you get the work, do the work, you get the money. Brilliant recruiting tool.
Absolutely. I accidentally watched something on Sky News this morning about the fact there is a new quid, a new £1 coin coming out in March or April,
right,
which has got 8 sides to it or something like that. And all these people are getting excited about this new quid, and yet we've got a QUIP that they can get really, really excited about. And they're, you know, all these people around the UK, and you know, it's a huge, huge opportunity, not just to grow your customer base, not just to grow your income, but to grow your team as well. Now, you mentioned mortgages and the difference that it can make to your mortgage. We've got Louise Glaysier from down Brighton way, Sussex way. She works the business with her husband, Simon. Louise, tell us about your views on QUIP.
Hi, Wes. Yeah, I was really excited when it was first announced. And I thought it was going to be brilliant for re-engaging with distributors who hadn't been as active as they had hoped they were going to be. I thought it was going to be brilliant for recruiting new people. But because Simon and I have got a large customer base, we get a really good 4-figure residual income from Utility Warehouse at the minute anyway. So we sort of decided actually it was going to be great to talk to new people about, but it probably wasn't for us. We were quite happy with just adding our sort of £4 or £5 per month, and that was fine.
So you have a nice life, you have nice holidays. I think you've already kind of sacked the boss, but I do know from chatting to you in the past, you don't always have masses of spare money, but you just get along nicely. So what changed in your thinking?
So our mortgage, we have an interest-only mortgage, so obviously that means that the capital's not going down. But we did, you know, we have got other means that we could pay it off at the end if we wanted to, or when we need to. Our mortgage payment is £260 per month. And I started thinking, actually, we usually, a bit like I think it was Paul said, he gets sort of 3 to 4 daffodil customers every month, and we're about the same. I then started thinking, hold on, if we continue doing 4 Daffy Gold customers every month, that's an additional £1,000 for us. At which point I then thought, we could quadruple the mortgage payments, which mean actually we're not just paying off the interest, our mortgage will be gone in, you know, probably 3 or 4 years' time. And so after sort of lots of thinking about it for a couple of days, we've decided that we're definitely in. I want to be completely mortgage free.
That's amazing. So pay off your mortgage early, save loads on interest.
Yeah.
Just win-win, isn't it?
And of course, we're still going to be getting the residual that we've earned in the past, but also on the other customers that aren't Daffy Gold.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Great point there as well. So thanks for joining us there, Louise. Now, Chris, this, as you have alluded to, it's not just a promotion. This is a fundamental change in the compensation plan. So how should people approach this? You know, particularly people that are edging their way back into the business now.
Well, one of the things that we had these announcements in the new year and periodically through the year, and I think everybody gets all excited. And, you know, the real difference between this, as you say, it is a fundamental change of the compensation plan. It's not a promotion. So what traditionally happens is we all get excited, we all want a piece of this cake, and we all are telling everybody, I'm going to go for it, I'm going to get those Daffy Gold customers. But when it's a promotion, what I've noticed happens is that because if you've not been active in this business, and, you know, we're all allowed to take some time off, that's the, you know, that's the beauty of it, but it takes a while to build up your pipeline again. And what I mean by pipeline is just, you know, these customers that you've been speaking to, potential customers over a period of time, before you can actually convert them into customers. And what happens with the promotion is very often, by the time that people having to put some effort in, they don't get a result straight away and they fall out of the promotion and they get a little bit disheartened. The difference with this is you're not going to fall out of this. This is not a promotion. This is a permanent change to the plan. But I think we still need to make people aware they've got to stick with it. So, you know, we've got to be honest, not everybody's going out and getting 4 Daffy Golds, which I think is a wonderful, wonderful achievement. So if you're not, then let's review what you need to do. And we've talked about it really, but get back on the training, it's free. And go back to UWTube and look at the videos, go to the online learning platform and start really, I like to call it, go forward to basics. Build your list again, approach your list again and start speaking to people. But here's the thing we have to remember, it could take you a month, 2 months, even 3 months to start getting those customers rolling in, because what we haven't got, it's not like a tap that you can just turn on and off. It's more like a pump. You've got to prime it. So all I'm saying to people is, you know, don't be like that person who decides to swim the channel, gets halfway across and swims back. You get it? Because if you'd have kept going, you'd have got there. Just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. Lean on your upline partners to get the support that you need, attend the events, go to the training, because everybody really can do it. And it really takes tenacity. Just keep going, keep going. So that's really my message. You know, do the WAMs, do the activity, you will get the result, but only if you stick with it. And I would give yourself, I would have a 3-month plan, a 90-day plan of the activity you're going to do, and stick to it no matter what results you get in the first month or so, because it may be they're not brilliant results to start with. So that'd be, you know, my message.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a 3-month plan. That's not a 3 phone call plan.
No.
That's a 3 plan. It's a 3-month plan.
Yeah.
And at the end of 3 months, then you review, okay, well, do I need to do more activity to get the result I want, or am I about right? And of course, the activity you do in January will bring some results in January, but it will also lead to some results that will come in February, March, April, May.
Yeah.
Likewise, what you do in February, some things will come off in February, some things will come off from January, and then some of February's will spill over. And we just got to keep pushing it like that. There's a chap called Stavros Michaelides, who's one of our trainers. He's a 200 plus club member, and he's very good at keeping stats. And one of the stats that always astounds me that he shares is that he's now 200 plus club member, but in his first year, he kept stats of everyone he spoke to and presented to. And 50% of the people, just about 50%, it might be 48, but who didn't say yes in the first year became customers in the second year.
Yeah.
And about 25% of the people that didn't say yes in the first year became customers in the third or fourth year. And, you know, that's the thing about building the pipeline, having the no for now list, and then just keep moving back to people, going back to people, finding new people, going back to. That's the power of it. That's so important that you don't just see this as a short-term promotion. It's not. This is a chance for you to be as bad as you like for as long as you like. And then once once you get better and improve those skills, you're away.
Yeah, and remember the referrals, because when people have those light bulbs fitted, you're going to get great referrals, but that takes time to flow through before the light bulbs are installed, before you get those referrals. Sometimes you don't always get them straight away. So yeah, it's a case of sticking with it.
So just to sum up, I'd like to remind people that the average disposable income in the UK right now is £224 per month for the average adult after they paid all of their bills. And that's across the UK. For 1 in 5 people, it's £50 a month. And for 1 in 11 people, is just £10 per month. So even if you're not one of those people that's going to have the time or the skill to go and get 4 or 5 or 6 Daffy Golds a month, even helping people get just one or two a month is going to significantly either increase by 50%, 100%, 200% on people's disposable income. So that's a huge difference to you who's watching this right now and all the people that you know. I think it's also important to remember we're now not a 5-service company anymore. We're now a 6-service company. The company has started to roll out home insurance. We put our first few trial home insurance customers through towards the end of December. That was a very exciting moment at NHQ. And that's obviously going to spill out into the whole network as the year goes on. We probably won't just stick at 6 services either over the next year or so, year or two, however long it might be. That may well become 7, 8, 9 services, or indeed more. So the potential for you to build your business right now with a business that's got just 2% of the UK population is just eye-watering. It is astounding. You are, of course, going to talk to the odd people that are very happy sitting in parked mode and are not going to move out of that. And you can't steer a parked car. So don't worry about that. There are plenty of people otherwise that are open to other ways of making money and open to ways of saving money. And this is just going to be an incredible opportunity. I'm finding myself, even after nearly 20 years, talking to people, and in the back of my head, if I think they don't get it, I'm like, well, you know, if this business doesn't light their fire, then their wood is just wet. I mean, like right now, what have we not got to offer people? Incredible savings on essential services, a huge upfront bonus, and then a long-term residual income. We really do have the perfect storm now. The smaller energy providers are finding that they're not going to be able to function the way they did in the past. This gives us a huge competitive advantage. We've already proven that with the new fixed tariff, 2% of the market, great big upfront bonuses. So I would just conclude by saying, if you've ever wanted to be one of those people who could say, well, I was in the right place at the right time, or have other people say, oh, he was in the right place at the right time, she was in the right, you absolutely are in the right place at the right time. This is going to be a phenomenal 2017. Chris, thank you so much for co-hosting with me.
My pleasure. Thank you for asking.
Tony, Louise, Kathy, Paul, thank you for joining us. And we wish everyone a fantastic 2017, where you really can build the business, the lifestyle, and the freedom that you were really looking for. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you very soon.
Thanks, guys.